I love the story of housing. Some people out there, I was an economics reporter for years, and we're going to go do another bust like we saw in 2008. I don't see that happening right now. That wasn't based on the marketplace. But anyway, market prices continue to rise in some areas, but the median home income for existing home that we talked about yesterday by the National Realtors Association back in, I think, June or July, give or take a month, Roger. It was about 400,000. Now, this is nationwide, dropped down to 356. That is a big drop, but the question is, where's Florida? Here on our Newsmaker line, Lindsey De La Sala with the DJ&Lindsey team. By the way, Roger, you can thank her for the reason why you and I can't get our billboards up on I-95 because she's bogarting them all out there. But anyway.
Okay.
So, I know. So, hey, so because it's happening, that's a big drop over 3 months. Some are indicating that the housing market's cooling off here, Lindsey. What is happening, at least here in Northeast Florida?
Sure. So definitely in Northeast Florida, I would not say anything is cooling off. Jacksonville just continues to win awards, nationally, being this is one of the hottest housing markets. So right now you're seeing inventory still remaining incredibly low. Builders are not able to catch up. They can't build houses fast enough for the people that are moving here and looking to relocate, even within Florida and within Northeast Florida.
We covered a story a few months back. This was, I think, a story by CNBC. We covered a lot of the, the Fox Business and CNBC, that there are actually contractors can't give for a new home now, which I know you deal with as well. New homes that can't give you a final price until everything's finally built, at least a ballpark, because of the supply shortage, which will drive up cost. Are you seeing that too?
Yes, we're seeing exactly that. And now more than ever, I mean, it's going to be very important as a buyer. There's verbiage in those builder contracts that has been there forever. And that verbiage is coming into play right now. There's a lot of fine print in there that talks about situations such as this where the builder can change the price, delay the closing, or cancel the contract.
Wait. Now, do you find yourself as almost like the Bob Newhart therapist out there? Because now it's a hypothetical here. Well, Lindsey was at $350,000. Now it's $375,000, and you're right. You got to explain this to everybody out there, and now they may be getting a little bit of second thoughts. Does that happen too, or not right now with the market?
Yes, you're seeing both ways. You're seeing people who are saying, "Well, I can't afford that." You're seeing people, three ways. You're seeing people saying, well, that's not fair. I agree to $350,000. And then you're seeing the same person saying, that's fine. I'll pay the extra. I need a house. Everything else around is so expensive.
That's the ones we like.
Yeah.
By the way, Roger goes, would you please tell Lindsey, unless there's something out of maybe the lower area of Nocatee or Ponte Vedra, I don't want to do business with her. So I'm like, what? That's Roger's group, Ponte Vedra. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, here on our Newsmaker line, Lindsey De La Sala with the DJ&Lindsey team. I wanted to talk because this is always a hot issue with the real estate market. Lindsey, by the way, where are we when people are moving in to Northeast Florida? Are a lot of them moving? Like, there's still somewhat of an exodus from South Florida. People kind of moving up. Is there a state particularly we're seeing more people coming in, or is it just from everywhere, or people moving from within the state to Jacksonville?
Yes, you're seeing a combination of both. You are actually seeing a lot of people moving up to Northeast Florida, the Jacksonville area, from South Florida, right? In Miami, it gets hot. It is hot and it is humid, and it's like that 350 days a year. So we are seeing a lot of people kind of starting to push further north because we do have seasons up here, and it's actually really pleasant here on the First Coast. And then you're also seeing people flocking from California, from the West Coast, from, even the Northeast, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, coming down to Florida, and they're heading right to Jacksonville.
When we see what is taking place with all the reports, it's up one day, the housing shortage, the supply shortage, a low inventory, inflation costs, you can't, and I'm not saying you, I'm just the proverbial you, some people say it may level off sometime going into next year in 2022. Can you really predict that?
I don't really know how people are possibly predicting that. We are still in this inventory crisis, and, you're seeing this problem, and it's perpetuating itself, because if you are a home seller, sure, right now you can get the most for your home you've ever gotten. But where are you going to go? And I'll tell you where you're going to go. You're going to go and you're going to overpay again for another property because there's nothing on the market. So this problem is just going to keep going because there is nothing for sale and builders can't catch up and create new inventory.
And by the way, let me just tell you, there has been, this is just general, Raj, but there has always been conversation by some of those in the state legislature. I'll let you figure out who that may be. Lindsey, you know where I'm going with. They want to put, it's been a minor conversation, but believe me, the market is so hot that maybe we're trying to help out people with the amount of money they spend. So maybe we need to put restrictions on how much realtors can make in commissions. And let me tell you something, Raj, in the old days, and by the way, this is going to happen again. I know that some houses may only stay on the market for 12, 1 month, 2 months. But Lindsey, there are many times, and I've covered this for years as an economic reporter, a house may be on the market for 6 months. You've got to spend more money in advertising. You barely might make a profit after finally selling that house after all the money you've dealt out to sell the house.
Sure. So there's different markets, right? Sometimes a house is going to take 6 months, 12
That's right.
months, and you have to put a lot of marketing dollars behind that. But then in the same token, right, if you can hire the right real estate agent when you're going to list your home, they need to be making sure, almost guaranteeing, that they are going to sell your home for the most money. This is a very important, one of the biggest assets investments that someone will ever make in their life for most people, and they should not be leaving money on the table right now. They need to be hiring a firm that has a lot of marketing dollars behind them in their business to make sure that your home sells for the most money.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, what is the this is the best one, Raj. What is the average timeline, especially with you and your husband at the DJ&Lindsey team?
Sure.
What do we see in the market? I mean, how long is a house staying on the market? Average house.
Yeah, so when you look in the MLS and you look at statistics, statistically, like the average days on market is about 4 days. Now,
That's
there's
it?
a lot of, it's weird, right? But that's because you're going to see a combination, right? If a house is priced right and the real estate agent they hired is trying to make a very quick sale, then the average day is pretty much 1 day on the market. It doesn't last very long. So, I think if you're a home seller, I don't really want my house to sell in a day. I want my house to sell for the most money. And if that takes 10 days, that's what I want.
Lindsey, are you one of those that, probably somewhere west of 301, you don't get involved in selling a house? You just stay on Ponte Vedra.
Refer them to someone else, to a different agent.
No, we sell all the houses.
See, Lindsey catches the humor. Some of you are like, what do you... She catches the
That's
humor.
horse property out there.
Exactly, Raj. And by the way, that's what I
valuable.
want out there, but I can't get... I'm trying to keep all of the well, I don't want to be rude here, Lindsey, because I grew up with, I grew up with Italians. I grew up with a bunch of Northerners. I met them before I met Southerners living here in Florida. But I don't want a bunch of those coming from South Florida. They're buying up all the land in the country. I want to live out there, but Calico, Brycefield, minus the meth, all the other areas out there where I go hunting. I mean, that's where I want a boatload of acres. But Lindsey will tell you, they telling me, Lindsey, that even out there, you can't keep it solid for 2-3 days before it sells up. I'm like, really?
Correct. It's all gone. Everyone's gobbling it up. I mean, especially, in an inflationary, environment such as this, people are understanding real assets. That's where they want to put their cash.
Well, I'm glad you can. I mean, I enjoyed it. This is a good story. Lindsey Delisella is with the DJ&Lindsey team. And I know this is always a hot issue talking about this, and it actually, believe it or not, gets a lot of hits. We get more people that are like, well, what? They don't read the story, Lindsey. They're just too busy complaining. Well, why are these Yankees moving in here? I'm like, I get it, but it's fine. Did you guys read the story?
Can't blame them.
Right? We were all visitors at one time.
No, you were. I'm pure blood. I'm from Florida. So anyway, I'm kidding with you. But anyway, no, I'm not kidding with you. I'm born and raised in Florida. Lindsey Delisella, hey, come on anytime.
Yes, thanks for having me, guys.
My pleasure, man. Good.